Good morning, folks. I'm going to cook something called Goto. It is like a rice porridge with beef. The authentic Goto usually has insides of the cow. I don't like to do that, so I use lean meat. I bought almost 3 pounds of lean meat. I put it in a pressure cooker and cooked it until it was soft, probably about 30 minutes. Here it is. I took out most of the oil, left a little bit in for flavor. We'll get back to this. I have onions, 1 whole onion, 1 whole head of garlic, and about 3 tablespoons of ginger. I have rice. It's better if you use glutinous rice. Today I don't have glutinous rice, so I'm going to use just the regular Thai jasmine rice. I have some chicken broth that was left over the other day. There's about half of this left. I'm going to use black pepper, olive oil. I have fish sauce, green onion, and this is crispy garlic. You can buy this in the Asian stores. I think this is from, I don't know where it's from, but it's from the Asian stores. Okay, so here we go. Put your oil in the pot. I'll put about, that's about 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. Here we go. Sometimes I put the oil liberally because I know that once this boils, I'm going to scoop most of it out with a ladle, because it's going to boil, it's going to come to the center, and I'm going to scoop out because I don't like a lot of oil in my foods. I know that oil is good, but there's a limit. Okay, I'm going to go with the ginger first. I'm going to make this slightly golden. It smells so good. I'm going to add the onions. Leave this until the onions are slightly translucent. Now, as you can see, it's starting to turn golden brown. Now I'm going to add rice. This is straight from the rice sack. I'm going to use about, oops. Take a look at this first. This is for a lot. This will feed a lot. Okay. When you heat it like this, what happens is you can brown the rice a little, and when you put in the broth, the rice will actually pop open. It'll be more open and cook faster. And what you really want is for the rice to be cracked and open, turn into like almost little grits instead of a whole grain. So this is about 3 cups. I'm going to add a little bit more. That's a ½ cup. So I put 3½ cups with almost 3 pounds of beef. I'm going to increase my heat. Okay, now I'm going to let this brown a little bit. I'll get right back to you. So while this is sauteing, I'm going to remove the beef and put it in a container. And I'll show you why. So the rice has been toasting for a while. And what I'm doing is I'm heating the broth And I'm going to add on a little bit more broth because it's very important that you put a lot of flavor into, because rice is bland. So this was the broth that the beef was boiled into, and I'm just finishing off some broth that I had from one of the previous menus that I had. This is chicken broth organic. I took out a lot of oil. This is the oil that I was able to scrape out. This is a cup that I just used the ladle and scraped out all the oil. Now if you look up close, this is starting to toast. Now I'm going to add the beef. Now normally they would put fish sauce in, but we try not to use fish sauce. The sodium is very high. So I'm going to use salt, but if you want fish sauce, it will add a lot of flavor, a lot more flavor. Okay, and right now, I'm going to add my broth now. This is very hot. I'm going to let this boil. I'm going to add more water to it. I'm going to add salt to it. You see that oil floating on top? A lot of that is olive oil, and some of it is the fat from the beef. What I'm going to do is boil it, and then the fat is going to come up, and I'm going to skim that off too. Now I'm adding a lot of water. This is going to require a lot of water. Okay, I'm going to add one more. Now, most Filipinos would cook this and they would leave the oil in there because they would say that is what brings the flavor. That's true, but health-wise it's not good for you. So we're going to let this boil. We're going to let the fat come up to the top. Take off the fat. And then we're going to start adding flavor. When you eat, what I do is I just put a little bit of salt in there so that those who don't like it salty, we try to stay away from a lot of salt, will enjoy it. And then those who want to add salt, they can either add their sea salt or they can add the fish sauce. Okay? I'll get right back to you. Let's let this boil. Come and stir back and forth once in a while. Make sure the rice doesn't stick at the bottom of the pot. Okay, I have skimmed some fat, as you see, and I'm going to skim some more. There you go. I own and operate a expanded adult residential care home. It's certified with the Department of Health. There is special diet that we have to follow. My care home is certified for special diet, so I've studied all the special diets. So anybody who has a low sodium or low fat, pureed diets, cardiac diets, kidney diets, I studied all that, so I'm certified to do that and accept those kind of patients in my care home. So when I cook, I put into consideration that my patients, being geriatrics, you know, don't like and don't need a lot of sodium and fat in their diets. And they truly enjoy my cooking. That's one of the things that they really appreciate, and they tell their families that Tina is such a good cook. I don't know about that, but they enjoy, and my daughter and her husband, and yes, I do have a son-in-law, by the way, and my husband, they all enjoy my food. So let's let this boil up, and we'll get back to